Yeah, just want to apologize before we get started. This is rubbing this. So I hear it through the whole video. I'm going to hit the noise reduction button, hope that helps. But if not, really sorry. Heyo everybody, it's Audrey from audreylynnstudiios on the west side of Canada near Vancouver. I have a kiln reveal for you. If you saw the last kiln reveal, it underfired and I had commission mugs in there. And thankfully, the lady who has ordered the mugs is very kind and patient. And she contacted me through email because she saw the kiln reveal, saying not to worry, it's okay, you know, refire and see what happens. And so that's very sweet. Thank you very much. It turned out to be the thermocouple, and so Les changed it for me, and I put in a glaze fire, but not the one with the commission mugs because I just did not want to take the chance. So this is different pieces with the slow cool program up to 2200 and drop to 1900 for 30 minutes. Yeah. So before we start, recently Angela from AP Pottery did a little video about feeling chaotic and not put together and disheveled. And I wanted to assure everybody that it's all smoke and mirrors, you know? Like, there are days when I'm in the studio and there's no makeup, the most raggediest t-shirt that I've got on. Behind these screens, it's a mess. My bathrooms are almost crawling away. Like, believe you me, it is all smoke and mirrors. But another thing that happens behind the scenes with all of us is that we have our life challenges. You know, one potter loses a son-in-law, another one has financial trouble, another potter has health issues, some more scary than others. And so I just want to throw out prayers, best wishes, positive energy, whatever is your thing, to all of those potters with challenges outside of kiln gods batting you around like a cat with a mouse. Anyway, let's get on with it. I put cones on every level, the 3 levels. The top level, this is the 6. Okay, I knew the tip was broken, but still you can see that it did not hit 6. However, my top level was like this far from the top of the kiln. You know, like it's not going to get a heck of a lot of heat. I can't even remember. I don't even think that means a coil is showing. So, you know, did pretty good then considering, because I did refire these gnomes, and because there was some orange peeling before, and that makes sense because if it's cooler on that top layer, the last firing would have been even cooler than usual because it was under firing and needed a new thermocouple. So I put these little guys in and they come out great. So it's stroke and coat hot tamale, stroke and coat old lace, sour apple, pinkaboo on the nose. And then I put some little blobs of jungle gems on there. So this is, I believe, firecracker, mocha marble, and pistachio on the green. Yeah, I like how they turned out. This cutter is from Sue Butler from 3D Commotion on Etsy. This ornament I designed, and because we live on the west coast, we have orcas. I mean, we get other whales, of course, but we have a lot of orcas. So I designed it and printed it on my 3D printer, and I think it turned out great. So this is all stroke and coats again, tuxedo, old lace, and hot tamale. That's it. They're all on, for those of you that don't know, they're all on Plainsman Buff. There's a crack here. They're all on Plainsman Buff clay, so that whatever clay is exposed looks decent. Okay, then I did some jewelry pieces. So just little squares that are curved. I will put hardware, and I'll show you that in a minute. And these are, this is rose quartz and aurora green and micro jade by Mako. Those are all Mako. And then I have little roses. This is floating turquoise by Spectrum. Cactus by Spectrum. Soft white by Spectrum. Rose quartz by Mako. And so now I will just go and get my other jewelry pieces so you can see. Have sourced, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the link or not, but they are hardware for jewelry, so they look like this. And you epoxy them onto the back of your jewelry. So this one is a curved piece that I did that little flower on, and then this is epoxied on the back. And then I have sourced chains that match, you know, the bail or whatever you want to call it thing. It's not really a bail, but let's call it a bail. So, you know, these you would have seen come out of the kiln last time. Sometimes I will put a charm on because I have sourced charms, but this one I made quite a long time ago. So this one has a fabric cord. Can you see the dragonfly on there? So you see it's like the pottery piece with the thing. Oh, this one had a hole in it. But these all have the hole right there. So, okay. Pottery piece with the charm and then the quarter chain or whatever. So they sell well. The jewelry pieces sell well. So these ones will probably have, once I put the bail on it, they'll have like a little charm glued on it. Not glued, hanging off of it. The next shelf down, 6. Oh, thank goodness. It's just the thermocouple. So, and this was 7. Nice. So that makes me happy. But I'm sure in January, I mean, I've had my kiln since 2019, never changed the elements. And I'm not even sure when you have to do that, but I will definitely be looking into that in January. So if it's time, then do it then. All right, so off that middle shelf, I did have a refire. This marble bowl you saw time before last. I wasn't happy with it because the marbling felt kind of rough, and it was probably me because I use zinc free clear from Mako, and I thin it down and I put layers on, but I didn't put enough on because I'm always so afraid it's going to go cloudy, whatever, yada yada yada. And then I had indigo float and some seaweed, I believe, and it just wasn't quite there. So I put 2 coats of fog in here, and you can, which I really love. I mean, you can't even really tell, right? But if you're close to it, it's got yeah, just that wee bluish tinge on the white parts of the marbling, which is kind of neat. And then DSIS, Nat, said put river birch. So I put it on the edge and it just looks so much better. So thanks, Nat. I love it now. Yeah, I think it's good, and it's not rough at all, which is really great. I don't mind selling that now. And another refire I had was just the pumpkin. It's Plainsman 340S, so it has the manganese in it. And this was manganese wash one time around the edge, and then Red Rock, yeah, by Amico. But it had this, like, you can still kind of see it, but it's actually not bad. Looks worse in the camera actually, but anyway, good. And then these sweethearts again. So 2 times soft white, and then on the edges is 2 times firebrick. And there's another one, which is very lovely, and another one. And then this one is 2 times soft white, and on the edges was 2 times emerald by Mako. Yeah, nice. This bowl is 370 white stoneware. It did catch a little bit, so but a teeny weensy grinding. That's nothing. And it's the 2 times honey flux with 1 river birch. And then on the edge is cinnabar twice, and then 1 time firebrick red. So I don't know if it really looks much different than just the firebrick red. It does, because it looks redder, because cinnabar is not as deep firebrick red. Anyway, very pretty. And then a spiral dip bowl came off that. I love this glaze. You see it? These are Pottery Supply House glazes. Look great on texture. So the yellowish one is Nickelodeon. I did manage actually to do this before. But yeah, Nickelodeon by Pottery Supply House, and that's a Canadian company. And then this part is Pumpernickel. Pumpernickel. Oh yeah, very pretty on texture. I wanted to do something that showed those 2 colors together on texture. So, and this is on 370 clay, so it's white stoneware. I just speckle on gold the bottom. Bottom shelf. So that is 6 and 7. Yes, I love that. All right. I'm going away though, so I am not putting in those refires and then going away. I am going to put in a bisque fire, and when I come back, and I don't know why, I need to be close to the kiln when those refires go back in, the commission mugs. Okay, these are refires. So you saw this mug, and I actually was corrected. It's Kimberly from KD Cook Pottery. I'm so sorry, Kimberly. Anyway, it'll be in the description. And I'd also seen it on Dark Star Pottery, which is Denise. But this is a refire. And why? Because there was nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Until I looked inside and hadn't glazed it. So I had to refire it with snow inside. That's what that is. And then I refired this mug because the green does not match the underglaze transfer, but I did put some green, some stroke and coat green here and up here in the hopes of getting more of this type of green on there, and I did, and it looks fine. Looks good. It's a nice mug. I like it. I have 2 oil bottles, choked here though because of the pinholes. Because guess what? They're commissions. I'm telling you, man. So in they go again. And they're a set. She wanted them a different shape so that when she reached for this shape, she knew what was in it. And I checked and these fit, so that's great. But yeah, they got to go back in. One thing I wanted to mention, that if you order these things, they're fabulous. But the last order that I got, they didn't move like that. And I said, Les, like, what's going on? Anyway, all he did was squeeze these together to kind of release them. They were just stuck in the screw part or whatever. So that's all that he had to do. Okay, this is this one marbling? No, this one is marbled. This one's marbled. 2 different white clays. And so it has underglaze transfer, white underglaze transfer on the bottom, which I love that look. And this is simply 2 times floating turquoise by Spectrum. And then this is soft white. 1 time soft white. And so I did another, but it's not marbled. I like them. Turned out well. I have another gingerbread house, Plainsman 340 buff. I can leave the link to the template below, and I put a bottom on them, and then I sell them with fairy lights. 2 times soft white. That's it. I just like this so much that I just don't do anything else. Okay, this one might need to be mine because it did crack a little bit. Right there. And you know what? I wanted one, so this is perfect. And then, yeah, the last piece, and it's a refire. And I was happy. I refired it because of there was lots of little bubbles like that. This, I'm leaving that. I'm not putting this back in. But it's the Kiln Ice. And I just put it right back in. And the Kiln Ice stayed really nice. I took a little break there. Les came in and he's honking while he's blowing his nose and everything. Okay, so yeah, the Kiln Ice stayed just as it was before. So that's awesome. And yeah, really, I can't remember what I did here. I know that it was 4 times the Kiln Ice, which you need 4 times. And I know that this was 2 Honey Flux, 1 River Birch. I think this was floating turquoise, even though it kind of went greenish. But anyway. I'm happy with that. Soft aqua, that's what it is. Okay, so let me know which are your faves. It's always fun to find out what people like. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a good day, good evening, good sleep, whatever. And I'm thinking about you. Some a little more than others at this time. You know who you are. Peace out.